You think you know passion? You haven't met Roy Keane. Born in Cork, Ireland, in 1971, he wasn't just another kid kicking a ball down streets of Mayfield. He was a firecracker, relentless, driven, impossible to ignore. At just 17, he stormed into Nottingham Forest first team, his raw energy and fearless tackles turning heads. And that was only the beginning. By 1993, Sir Alex Ferguson had seen enough. Manchester United snapped him up, and instantly, Keane became the beating heart of a dynasty in the making. No wardrobe at Old Trafford was complete without his steely gaze. No midfield battle ever the same once he arrived. He transformed United's engine room, shredding opponents, rallying teammates, and demanding nothing less than excellence. In his debut season, he lifted the Premier League and the FA Cup double, setting the tone for a career studded with trophies. But how did this Cork-born teenager forge the backbone of one of football's greatest ever teams? Stay with me. Every steel-toed tackle told a story of grit, of pain, of unyielding willpower. Teammates feared his intensity. Rivals feared his 20-yard screamer against Sheffield Wednesday that left defenders rooted to the spot. Fans revered him, not just for goals or trophies, but for relentless leadership. When United captain Brian Robson hung up his boots, Keane didn't just inherit the armband. He inherited a legacy and then burned it brighter. But it wasn't all triumph. In '95, after tearing cruciate ligaments, he faced 10 months in the medical room. Most would wither. Keane rebuilt, stronger, hungrier. He returned to claim another Premier League title, silencing critics in one seismic roar of determination. And then came Europe, the 1999 Champions League final. 2 goals in stoppage time are etched in football folklore. Yet the unsung hero threading passes, breaking lines, marshalling men was Roy Keane. If you think that was intense, just wait until you hear about the night he confronted Lothar Matthäus. But more on that soon. Off the pitch, the story took darker turns. His mercurial temper flared in press rooms. Infamous outbursts, white-knuckle interviews, and a dressing room bust-up that would shatter United's harmony. His departure in 2005 stunned the football world. How can a man who bled red and white be pushed out? What really happened behind closed doors in that final season? In the next part, we uncover the explosive moments that led to the ultimate fallout, and how Roy Keane's departure reshaped Manchester United forever. If you're hooked on this journey through raw ambition and unspoken battles, do us a favor. Hit subscribe, smash that like button, and share this video to keep the story alive. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Remember that showdown with Lothar Matthäus? It was just the tip of the iceberg. When Roy Keane swapped Old Trafford for the international stage, steel that defined United. Every interception a declaration of intent. Yet the silver lining turned to storm clouds at the 2002 World Cup in Japan, South Korea. Keane arrived lauded as captain and left in ignominy. His explosive interview with the Irish media laid bare a squad he deemed not professional enough, tearing through teammates' commitment and preparations. He walked away from his country in mid-tournament, a decision that split a nation and haunted his legacy. Curious how one man's honesty fractured an entire team? Back at club level, Ferguson still trusted his warrior. Keane's move to Celtic in 2005 rekindled old flames. He lifted the Scottish Premier League trophy in his debut season and dragged a faltering Tigers side to glory in the League Cup. Yet even near Glasgow, his perfectionism bred friction. Stories of training ground tirades and heated exchanges with Celtic's dressing room veterans spread like wildfire. It was as if Roy couldn't help himself, demanding more, always more. But how did this relentless pursuit of excellence shape his second act off the pitch? As the boots came off, Keane transformed into a master tactician, assistant manager at Sunderland, then Ipswich Town, and eventually boss at Nottingham Forest. His fiery passion morphed into tactical acumen, drilling teams into disciplined machines, extracting performances beyond belief. Under his stewardship, Sunderland climbed from relegation battle to promotion contenders, proving that his leadership transcended mere muscle and muscle memory. Next, We'll dive into the defining managerial battles and uncover the philosophy that made Roy Keane a legend both on and off the field. If you're captivated by this untamed journey, hit subscribe now, drop a like, and share with fellow football fanatics, because the saga of Roy Keane is far from over. You thought the battlefield was over when he hung up his boots? Think again. In the dugout, Roy Keane's intensity reached new heights. At Sunderland, he inherited a squad drifting towards relegation. His first press conference set the tone. Eyes blazing, voice low, "I won't accept complacency." Training sessions became war zones. Shuttle runs until cramp, tactical drills until dusk. The result? A mid-table finish that stunned pundits and saved the club from the drop. But it was more than survival. It was a statement. Keane's leadership worked in any arena. Soon after, Ipswich Town beckoned. The Tractor Boys had flair, but lacked steel. Keane imposed discipline, curfews, video analysis sessions, and a ruthless selection policy. Critics questioned his methods. Too harsh, they said. Yet under his watch, Ipswich climbed the championship table, fueled by collective grit. His mantra, "No excuses," became the squad's battle cry. Every win felt earned, every draw a testament to belief. But what was the secret behind this transformation from mercurial midfielder to uncompromising manager? Keane's philosophy hinged on one core principle: ownership. Players had to take responsibility for every pass 3-1. Midfield enforcers shielding a creative trident. Quick transitions, high press, and lethal counterattacks mirrored his own playing style. It wasn't pretty at times, but it was effective. Yet the pressure cooker took its toll. Media scrutiny intensified with every narrow victory. Rumors swirled of dressing room unrest. Veterans chafed under his regime. Keane's refusal to succumb to sentiment forced him to drop club legends, igniting headlines that spoke of hostile takeover. But when you demand excellence, there's no room for sentiment. In our final chapter, we'll explore how these battles shaped Roy Keane's enduring legacy, and what comes next in the story of football's fiercest competitor. If you're still with me on this relentless ride, smash that like button, subscribe now, and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss the epic conclusion of Roy Keane's saga. Share this video with anyone who knows that greatness demands sacrifice. You've seen the battles, the breakdowns, the grudges. Now witness the legacy. Roy Keane's story didn't end when he left the dugout. He stormed into punditry with the same uncompromising lens, dissecting every pass and positional error with surgical precision. Love him or loathe him, broadcasters knew his analysis cut to the bone. Lethargic, he'd roar at timid midfielders. Get your head out of the clouds. He'd snap at strikers missing gilt-edged chances. His critiques became water-cooler fodder, shaping how a generation watched the game. Off-screen, Keane embraced philanthropy, driving youth academies in Cork, mentoring Irish talents who once idolized him on TV. He poured back into the grassroots, demanding the next crop match his own hunger. It was a quieter mission, but no less fierce, forging the future with the same steel-toed determination. But what does football's fiercest competitor really think about today's game? In recent interviews, Keane's verdict remains stark: too soft. He challenges modern coaches to reclaim the fight, to teach players accountability over arrogance. He warns against flash without substance, pace without purpose. And why listen? Because Roy Keane walked through fire, on muddy pitches in thunderous arenas, under unforgiving spotlights, and emerged unbowed every time. The next chapter is unwritten, and it might just redefine football's next era. If Roy's journey fired you up, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What lesson from Keane's career inspires you most? Share this video to challenge every football fan you know. And remember, legends aren't born, they're forged.